fully immerse yourself in the game at any time you can. I'm Kelsey Pardue. I grew up in Richmond, born and raised. I played for the Capitals back in the day. Started at the age of like 3 or 4, and then went on to play at like AC Alliance, AC Premier. Like the clubs all changed, and then it finally turned to Kickers. So played there throughout my later years, and then I went on to play at Longwood. When I was younger, like I did ODP as well, and when I was younger, I don't think I peaked to where I was supposed to be yet. I was still that player that was like, had to work hard to get to where I wanted to be. And I was seeing all my other friends and all these other players on ODP, like they had already peaked, and they were already at that point where I was like, man, why am I not there? Like I'm one step behind. Then I got an email from Dyer, started talking to him more, really kind of got a feel for who he was, who Steve Bradarski was, who was assistant coach at Longwood at that time, and really just fell in love with them as people, as coaches, and then started to fall in love with the school the more I was there, and the more visits I took to the school, and just being so close to home, I knew my family was going to be able to see all my games, and that's a big part of it. I wanted them to still be with me in college because they had been there for me throughout all the other years too. Going into my first year, so my freshman year, I was a little nervous because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I mean, who really does at first? Unless you have older siblings, which that kind of helped. Tyler and Sherry had been through the process, so they kind of got me warmed up for it and told me what to expect. But when I went there, I wasn't playing right. Like I was just so nervous getting into the setting and trying to show for the coach and show for the players. And I remember the first week that I was there, I was just giving the ball away like every time I touched it, and was just so frantic on it. But he was like, no, it's just, I feel like something's wrong with you right now. Like I feel like you're out of it. Like something happened in your life. Like, you know, some people say, did your dog die? And when he said that, I was like, oh man, I just gotta get comfortable. Like this guy that I'm so comfortable with already thinks that I'm not playing well or something's going on. So after he talked to me, I kind of stepped up my game. I got more comfortable, and I think over the course of my freshman year is when I did start to peak, when I started to like realize like why I was meant to be in this sport, and it just became comfortable for me. Or having played in college, having coached in college, knowing like other players who have played in college, like the mentality to even be there and play and just be in that setting, like you have to have it. You have to be on every single day, and if you're not on every single day, you're losing your spot. Whether you're a senior, whether you're a junior, whatever. A freshman who has the right mentality, who has a better mentality than a senior or junior, can come in and take your spot. And that's why, you know, being on, you know, these top level teams at such a young age, like kind of gets you prepared, but I feel like it's not even like a hint to the real thing. I would say there's a lot of joys to being a college athlete. Obviously, just being able to play in college after senior year of high school is already an incredible thing. But along with that, along with having the joys of playing in college, having the joys of playing, you know, after college, it comes with, I know this is cliche, but it comes with some responsibility. Going into college, I wasn't aware of all the responsibility, and I think it's a good thing for players to know before they go into college, like, you're not going to have it easy. There's going to be so many hard days where you almost feel like, why am I doing this? Or am I really prepared? Or am I really made up for this? The joy that you get from it at the end of the day, or when you become a senior and you look back on the 4 years that you just played, you're like, wow, that was awesome. Like, it really is an incredible experience. And I know we still remember how it feels, and I feel like it was yesterday that I was out there. I wish it was yesterday that I was out there. But like, you just got to understand that it comes with the mental aspect, the physical aspect. It comes with so much more, like psychological it just takes a lot out of you. Not out of you, that's not a good word. It takes a lot to play in college at any level. And what I noted on before was the academic side of it. Like, you have to be able to balance and juggle all things. You know, you're going to class. Sorry, you're going to lifting before class at 6 in the morning. So you got to make sure you get to bed early. But getting to bed early when you have later classes, later practices, then you got to go eat. You got to remember to eat in college. I know that's hard as well. You got to take a shower, okay? So many things each and every day. And so you barely get breaks, which isn't a bad thing because they take care of you. But it's just, I don't think many people realize how much you have to actually put into it when you get there. I was nervous. Even after playing in college and like just having all that confidence come back to me, I was still nervous because it's the next level and you're trying to get to the pros and trying to do your best in front of a new coach that knows nothing about you because you played at a smaller school. And then, so I had the tryout and I did well. And I like actually fit in with the players that they had already had on the team. And I think I was one of the last ones to try out. So I was worried that I wasn't going to make it just because they already had a lot of numbers. But the coach liked me, who later became the coach to the Washington Spirt, Mark Parsons, and he's now the coach to Portland Thorns, who just won the NWSL. So I'm like, whoa, I know this guy. He's the one that got me into that setting. But after I made the team, I was in the W League for reserves, and it was a really good starting point to see if I could get to that level where the pros were, because we were actually able to train with the professional team, and I was training against like Allie Krieger and Ashlyn Harris. Like, how am I supposed to score on Ashlyn Harris out here? How am I supposed to make an impact? And it's funny because one of like the moments I'll always remember was a training session. We didn't know we were going to train with them that day, and it ended up being a scrimmage against the W League team. And I just remember I was like, I got nothing to lose here. Like, what am I doing out here? I'm so nervous, but I'm just going to play. And the game started. It was just a scrimmage, and I think we went down like 1-0 just because they were able to run by us easily. Like, we weren't all organized either. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a long game. And then we ended up getting a goal back somehow. I was like, this is crazy. We're tied with the professional team right now. And obviously it was just a training session. And then I remember there's this moment where we were connecting all the way up the field, like layoffs, and it was just going like perfectly. And I got played a ball like behind Allie Krieger. Luckily it was behind. I didn't have to beat her 1v1. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bust my butt for this one. I like ran by her, and of course Ashlyn's in goal, and I'm like, oh crap. But I ended up actually hitting a left-footed shot like upper 90s, like in the back of the net, and I didn't want to celebrate because I knew it was just a training session and all the pros were probably like, whatever, it's just a W League player. But I was so I was so excited.